Welcome to Basic, Easy, and Simple English. My name is Jibung Oh. From today on, we are going to study English with simple grammar. And today is the first session, and we are going to study the element of a sentence. The element of a sentence. The first element of a sentence is a subject. The subject is the person, animal, or a thing you're talking about. Sammy is the person you're talking about. Sammy is a good boy. My dog is an animal you're talking about. My dog runs fast. Ping pong is a thing you're talking about. Ping pong is my favorite sport. If you find out what the subject is, you can use who, what, just like who is a good boy? Sammy. Sammy is a good boy. What runs fast? My dog. My dog runs fast. What is my favorite sport? Ping pong is my favorite sport. And the things following can be the subject of a sentence. Proper nouns. Proper nouns are the names, not only the names of human beings, but also the names of places, mountains, and rivers. John, Tom, Henry, the Mount Everest, or just the Mississippi River, or Brazil, or China, America. John is my friend. A proper noun is the subject. And then nouns. This can be called common nouns. Common nouns, just like dog, car, book, ping pong, or just like food, just like hamburger or pasta or Korean food, Chinese food. The dog is big. Okay, the dog is the subject. And then pronouns can be the subject of a sentence. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. He is Mr. Johnson. So he is a pronoun. So he is the subject in this sentence. The second element of the sentence is a verb. The verb is an action or a state of the subject. It means the verb is what the subject does or what the subject is. Okay, an action or a state of the subject. That's the verb. We play soccer every Sunday. We is the subject and our action is to play. So we play. Play is the verb. We play soccer every Sunday. It is the action of the subject we. My dog runs fast. The action of my dog. So this is the verb. My dog runs fast. Sammy is a good boy. Is the verb and Sammy is the subject. This talks about Sammy's state. Yes, he's a good boy. So Sammy is the verb and then it talks about the state of the subject. Ping pong is the subject. Is the verb. It talks about the state of the subject. So ping pong is my favorite sport. Action verbs can be understood as do verbs because they need do and negative interrogative sentences. My dog runs fast, but if you, in order to negate this, you need does. My dog doesn't run fast. In order to make this interrogative, my dog runs fast. Does my dog run fast? So when you make a statement into a negative or interrogative, you need do. So all the action verbs are called do verbs. And I'm going to explain about this a little bit later. At the same time, state verbs can be understood as be verbs. Be verbs are am, are, is, was, and were. These five, they are called be verbs. So from now on, I'm going to use the word be verb a lot. For example, be plus ing in order to explain progressive tense. So when I say be verbs, it could be am, are, is, was, or were. The third element of a sentence is an object. The object shows what the subject does. It's not is, what the subject does, and the object comes right after the action verb. Action verb is not be verb, okay? But not always, not always. So a little bit later, I'll have to explain the terms transitive, transitive, and intransitive. There are transitive verbs and there are intransitive verbs. Even though they are action verbs, transitive verbs takes object. Intransitive verb doesn't take object. So that's the difference. So here, play is the verb and it's a transitive verb. So it takes an object. We is the subject, play is the verb, soccer is the object. We play soccer every Sunday. But in the second sentence, my dog is the subject, runs is the verb, but run is not a transitive. It is intransitive. So there is no object. Third sentence says, Sammy is eating breakfast. This is present progressive and it is transitive. So it takes an object. So breakfast is an object. So the object of the sentence is breakfast. The last sentence, Superman can fly. This fly is sometimes transitive, sometimes intransitive. In this case, this is intransitive, so we don't need an object. So from now on, when you take a look at the verbs, try to figure out whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. If it's transitive, you need an object. If this is intransitive, you don't need an object. Usually you can use who or what to recognize the object in the sentence. I love you. You is the object. Who do I love? Sam likes Chinese food. Chinese food is the object. What does Sam like? Mr. Johnson has a nice car. What does Mr. Johnson have? So a nice car, this is an object. So again, love is transitive, so you need an object. Likes is a transitive, so you need an object. Has or have is a transitive, so you need an object. So anyway, object is one of the elements we need in a sentence. But as I said, if the verb is transitive, we need an object. So if the verb is intransitive or a be verb, state verb, we don't need an object. So not always, that's the keyword. Okay, the last element of a sentence is a complement. The complement shows what and how the subject is. And the verb comes right after the state verb. As I said, be verbs. But not always. We need complement when we use be verbs, but not always. In the first sentence, we are happy. Subject, verb, we are what? The information is enough, so we need a complement, happy, after this state verb. Jane is what? The information is enough. So this one, a housewife, is the complement. Subject, verb, okay, and then the complement. Here, her favorite subject. This is the subject, and this is verb. Her favorite subject is what? The information is not enough, so we need a complement. So after this be verbs, which are state verbs, we need a complement to make the sentence complete. But here, the verbs just like taste, sounds, and looks. They don't look like state verbs. They look like action verbs, but these ones, they take complement instead of object. But the thing is, the verb like taste, it has the function of transitive verb, and at the same time, intransitive verb, intransitive. Okay, a verb, if a verb is transitive, you need an object. If the verb is intransitive, you don't need an object. Look at this. Taste. Okay, I taste a cake. This one taste is transitive. So a cake is the object. But you can say the cake tastes good. Same taste, but this taste is intransitive, so it doesn't take an object, instead a complement. Here, this one, just the same. The food tastes good. The food cannot taste anything, right? So this is intransitive, and good is the complement. That sounds great. So this word sounds takes great as the complement. The dress looks beautiful on you. Beautiful is is a complement. It is an adjective, and then it becomes the complement of the verb. So actually, beautiful is describing the dress. Okay. Now, even though this is a state verb, just like be verbs, if it is talking about existence, it doesn't take a complement. In this case, we call this perfect intransitive. Okay. It talks about existence. They are in America. So this is not a state. It's talking about existence. They are in America. They exist in America. I am what I am. There are two M's. This M, this is incomplete. So it needs a complement. So what I am is the complement of M. But the second M is talking about existence. So this is a perfect intransitive. So it doesn't need a complement. I think, therefore I am. This M says I exist. I think, therefore I exist. So this one doesn't need a complement. Okay, we just have studied the four elements of a sentence. Whatever the sentence is, there are two things you need. First one is the subject. You need a subject, and you need a verb. Object and complement, they are optional. Okay? You need a subject, you need a verb, an object, and complement, they are optional. Okay, let us exercise. So find the subject, verb, object, and complement. If you can find these in each sentence. Sam and I are close friends. The subject is Sam and I. This is the subject. Are is the verb. So this is state verb. So close friends will be a complement. My dog is the subject. Likes is verb. So likes what? Running in the park. So this will be the object. Superman can fly very fast. Okay, Superman, we know that this is the subject, and fly is the verb, and can is an auxiliary verb, so it's a part of a verb. Very fast, it's not a complement. So this fly doesn't need, it's not, it's not transitive, so it doesn't need an object. Mrs. White is my English teacher. Mrs. White is the subject, and is the verb, so this is state verbs, so you need a complement. My English teacher is the complement. Mrs. White, this is the subject, teaches, this is the verb, and this is an action verb, and this is transitive, so it needs an object, so English is the object. Mrs. White teaches English. The next sentence, my family is in Spain at this moment. So my family is the subject. Is the verb. Now this verb is talking about existence, so it's not a complement. So this is a perfect and transitive. So my family is where? In Spain. Okay. Now we love Spain very much. This must be my family. Subject. Love is the verb. So love is transitive. Transitive. So if a verb is a transitive, what do you need? You need an object. So Spain is the object. Okay? This is the conclusion of today's study. I will come back to you with another just like a topic as soon as possible. Until then, keep studying English and have a great day. Bye.